Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're doing a little bit different of a video for me. We're gonna be going through 10 of my biggest tips to make your home look more luxurious, more expensive, but that won't necessarily cost you an arm and a leg, so that you guys can get that designer look, but you don't have to go spend the designer amount of money. But before we get into the video, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my channel members, Natasha Rowe. Thank you so much for being a hot mess homie here. If you guys didn't know, I have a channel membership where you can get badges and like special emojis. You also get chances for shout outs like these. So thank you so much, Natasha, for being a member. And if you guys are interested in joining my membership, it will be linked in the description. But let's go ahead and hop into the video. My first thing, and this is one of the most pivotal things that you can do in your house. And you guys have seen videos where I actually do the opposite of what I'm about to say. So the most pivotal thing is that you should hang your curtains as high to the ceiling as possible. It draws the eye up and it just makes your space feel way more put together. Also, to go along with that, make sure that you are getting curtains that are touching your floor. You want to make sure that your curtains aren't way too short and like up above your molding, or that they're not way too long where they're like drapes and piles of curtains on your floor. A really amazing place for not only affordable curtains, but curtain rods and curtain rod holders that are so easy to install and ridiculously cheap is IKEA. I have this big, like, I would say 8-foot window in my office that I'm sitting in right now, and I got a double curtain rod system, 4 in here, and total, I think between the 2 rods and all 3 of like the little things that hang it up, I think I spent maybe $20. So definitely check out an IKEA to fix your curtain situation if you have one near you. My next tip is something that personally I am obsessed with, and that is to add plants and greeneries or flowers to your house. So it really makes the space come together when you have some greenery in there and when it looks like your room is kind of alive. If you don't have any sort of greenery or plant in a room, it can really kind of feel sterile and not super inviting. Honestly, another thing that kind of falls under this category, so this is kind of like a little extra tip to make your house feel super bougie on a budget. I can't like keep houseplants because I will kill them, hence all of the fake plants. But what I do get is fresh flowers like once every like 2 weeks from the grocery store. They can literally be as low as like $5. Just throw them in a vase, even from the Dollar Tree, and set them on your kitchen table or, you know, wherever in your house, and it makes it look super luxurious. A really great tip to make your home look more custom and more expensive is definitely to change out your hardware. Think about how most homes come with those either really cheap silver doorknobs or the older homes, those really aged, not brass, so it doesn't necessarily look intentional, but like kind of gaudy kind of gold. And that's just my opinion, so don't shoot the messenger. It felt very cheap. Like, you use a doorknob every single day, or at least most people do. And so that is something that you will definitely notice if you invest in some new doorknobs or some new pulls, just new hardware that makes your home look custom, more modern. Personally, I like to go with the matte black, but that's totally a personal preference. And it can just make the space feel like fully elevated, so highly suggest changing out your hardware. We just talked about changing out our hardware, and another thing that can make your home look a little bit cheap, and I'm not trying to be judgy, but is the boob lights. I think we've all lived in a house with a boob light, and they're just very builder grade. They're not really nice to look at. It's just kind of there for its function to, you know, light up the room. But You can very cheaply change out your light fixtures to something more sleek and modern. Personally, we got some really cute little light fixtures that are square and like go up to the ceiling from Lowe's for like $50 to change out the ugly lighting that was in our hallway. And even just changing out your fans that have the lights. If you have your old fans, you could even spray paint them. Just update the lighting in your home. It really makes a huge difference. And I'm not saying that you have to go do it all at once, because it can be really expensive if you go to get a bunch of different light fixtures at one time. But even just updating the light fixtures that you already have by maybe giving it a coat of spray paint, or you know, changing out, like on your fans, you can change out the little things that go over the light bulbs. They have replacements for those at any hardware store really. So just updating your light fixtures can make a world of difference. Another super budget-friendly thing that you can do to make your home look more expensive is to add an accent wall. So the cheapest way to do this would definitely be with some paint. Paint is super inexpensive, and if you don't like it, you can always change it out, which is also great. Another great option is peel and stick wallpaper. Wallpaper has come a long way. It's not your grandmother's wallpaper anymore. And although I'm not a fan of like fully wallpapered rooms, I think that a really stunning accent wall of wallpaper can be just the thing to tie your room together. But if you're on an extremely tight budget, a tip I can give is you can kind of make your own wallpaper. So say that there's like a super simple pattern, some lines, some little dots, something like that, and get a small can of paint, mark out where you're going to just, you know, do your little circles, do your little lines, and you can paint on the wallpaper. So that way you're using less paint and you're still getting that kind of patterned look without actually having to put up the wallpaper. But I know a lot of stores like Lowe's, Target, even a bunch of places online, even Amazon, have some really incredible peel and stick wallpaper that's pretty affordable, and I'll leave a link to some of my favorite ones in the description box below. Okay, I think some people might disagree with me on this one, and this is just my personal opinion. So if what I say doesn't resonate with you, I think that it can be done the other way. I just personally find that it looks more high-end to me if you do it this way. So the next tip that I can give you is to stick with a neutral color palette. I'm not saying that you can't have any color in your house. What I'm saying is that when you go to buy those large staple pieces, things that you're going to keep for, you know, 10 years or 20 years, or even pass down to your children one day, I really think it's important to stay neutral. Normally, higher end interiors look a little more muted. And I think the reason for that is because when you come into your home, you want to feel really relaxed. And so when there's a lot of crazy color in a space, it can kind of make us feel not necessarily like it's the place to calm down and relax at the end of the day. Does that make sense? So I think keeping a neutral color palette for the most part, and bringing color in with things like plants or little decor pieces, little pops of color here and there that you can change out from season to season, and as your color preferences change, I think that's the way to incorporate color. But overall, keeping a really neutral and very like zen color palette can be really, really helpful when you're trying to make your space look more expensive. My next tip to make your home look more expensive is to put some molding up. If you have flat panel doors like we did when we moved in, they were, you know, they were kind of like the wood veneer, so it wasn't like a good wood kind of door, if that makes sense. So what we did was actually add molding to the doors and make sure that you caulk the edges so it looks very seamless, and then we just painted over it, and it made the world of difference. Now, this also goes for your walls. They actually have some peel and stick molding pieces that are already put together. If I can find them on Amazon, I'll link them in the description below, but it can just give your room a lot of character, and if you do it yourself, it can be really affordable. Not to mention, you could do some board and batten, you could do some beadboard, something that just gives the room a little bit of interest can really go a long way. Okay, so this one might seem like an obvious one, but it's something that I have even struggled with, and I'm feeling it out a little bit more now, but is to just keep your clutter behind closed doors. So I see the mistake a lot of people leaving, you know, like shoe racks out and just having like multiple like paperwork and stuff that's just out in the open. And although we all have it and it's a normal part of life, having a place to put that away and some closed storage is definitely gonna help your home feel more expensive, because generally when you go into like a nice place, there's not a bunch of clutter everywhere. It looks very well maintained and pristine and put together. And I'm not saying that my house doesn't look cluttered, because when I'm not filming a video in that room and if I have something going on, yeah, I got stuff out. So there's no judgment from me here. But if you want your home to look more expensive, keeping it really organized and making sure that you have some closed storage can really go a long way in doing that. This one may also be something that you're like, I'm not gonna do that, it's so not practical, but hear me out. Changing the sheets on your bed from colored sheets to white sheets, or just lighter sheets in general. They could be a cream, a beige, but think about every time you go into an expensive hotel or just a hotel in general. For the most part, the sheets are white and the bedding is white. And the reason for that is so that you know it's clean and it's also classic. You can maybe bring in color to your bedroom through those throw pillows, throw blankets, your wallpaper, accent wall, different decor and things like that. But when it comes to your actual bed sheets and bedding, I am a big fan of keeping it very neutral, and I tend to go more on the lighter side. Now, you can definitely work in a dark duvet or bedspread, but in my personal opinions, the sheets to look very luxurious should stay white. So let me know what you guys think about that, because I know a lot of people hate white sheets. Another thing that you can do to make your house look more expensive is definitely not to buy matching sets. So I don't mean this for everything, so let me explain. I think that the days of us going into a furniture store and buying a matching bedroom set are just fully over. It does look very stark, in my opinion. If that's your thing, that's totally fine. And I'm not saying that if you have sets in your house that you can't take the tip that I'm about to give you, because you could kind of rearrange some of your sets. But it looks so much more elevated when you have some night tables that are maybe a different texture or a different color than your dresser. And just different things of that nature. The same thing goes for coffee tables and side tables when you're picking out for your living room or spaces like that. I think it just looks a lot more elevated when maybe you have side tables that match each other, of course, but go with a little bit different of a coffee table. And that's not to say that sets that match can't work in a room. They definitely can, and I think it depends on the set. But in my opinion, when styling for myself or for somebody else, I'll definitely use different pieces. That way it feels much more personal and less like we're at a furniture showroom. Another simple thing you can do to make your home look more expensive is to change out the faucets. So a lot of homes, even new build homes, come with very like builder grade standard faucets, and you can find really affordable faucets at your local hardware store or even on Amazon. I have some really great ones linked below, but they're not super expensive and you don't have to change them all out at once. But changing out your faucet from the old kind of silver dated standard looking ones to a nice matte black one with a really interesting shape can really make your bathrooms or your kitchen look designer without having spent a whole lot of money to make that upgrade. So that is one thing that really anybody can do. It's so easy to change the faucet. I've changed a few in my day, and you can do it too for super affordable. Thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video. I had so much fun recording this video and editing it and finding all of the pictures for you guys. I think that it can be really helpful to a lot of people. I know I'm a very like visual person, so when I can kind of see what somebody's talking about, it helps me bring it to life a little bit easier. So I hope that this was helpful. If you liked today's video, I have so many more just like little tips and tricks. We could go room by room or do a general house video like today. So if you liked it, definitely give me a big thumbs up on this video. It definitely helps with the algorithm. And drop a comment and let me know if you want to see more videos like this or you have another idea kind of similar, because I definitely want to put out what you guys want to see. Also, if you're not already, make sure that you're following me on all my other social medias. They'll be linked here on the screen and in the description box below. And if you're not already, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell notification so you never miss when I upload next. But that's it for me today, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!